Hollywood is filled with a lot of amazingly talented entertainers and creators, but oftentimes, some don't feel as highly regarded as others. Plenty of the top well-known black entertainers get their flowers all the time. But what about the ones that are not as popular? The ones you don't realize are just as good, that have been doing it just as long, but just don't get the appropriate amount of recognition. They deserve their flowers too, don't they? Well, that's what your main man EazyLeezy is here for. So, come with me now, as we take some time to highlight and appreciate some amazing, low-key black entertainers. Here we go. Up first, my man, Thompson. So initially, when I came up with the idea to do this years ago, the reason was because randomly I had saw Keenan in a commercial and I thought, damn, he's in commercials now? But then I was like, wait, my man has been around forever. So I was like, why does it seem like he's only now getting recognized and praised? He, more than anyone, seems as if he's gone fairly under-recognized. And yet somehow Thompson has quietly had one of the longest, most successful careers in Hollywood, at close to 30 years. While his movie side isn't particularly heavy, like Love Don't Cost a Thing, Heavyweights, Fat Albert, Barbershop 2, Snakes on a Plane, films such as Good Burger and Mighty Ducks defined my childhood. Alternatively, he has had the most success on TV, whether a feature player or guest star. No one comes close to his longevity, consistency, and comedic prowess. From all that to SNL and many things in between, like Kenan and Kel, Steve Harvey's Show, etc. He was even doing the Olympic coverage with Kevin Hart this year. So it's good to finally see him get his just due as a mainstream entity in entertainment, especially coming from being a child star, which we've seen affect a lot of young, talented performers in the opposite way over the years. It's evident his God-given gift of humor speaks for itself and has propelled him to the successful man that he has become. Next up, Delroy Lindo. Who? If you don't know Delroy Lindo, then this is why I did this. Aside from having one of the coolest names ever, Mr. Lindo has established himself as one of the premier black actors while staying relatively low-key. His resume includes gems like Malcolm X, Crooklyn, This Christmas, The Five Bloods, and one of my favorites, Romeo Must Die. There are many more broad films in his library, of course. And while movies is his mainstay, he's also delved into a fair amount of great TV roles as well. He has kinetic range, much like a Lawrence Fishburne, in that he can play any role and act it extremely well, whether bad or good. The power in his voice alone more than commands your attention in any role he does. And he's still going strong almost 50 years in. Number 3, Williamson, the only man to have a restaurant named after him. Think about it. When you ask for standard black guy in supporting role, this is the guy you call. It seems like he's in every movie you've seen, but that tells you just how talented and versatile he can be. With a significant dabble in many successful TV shows like 24, Justified, Boomtown, and CSI New York, his abilities are better showcased in many high-profile movies like Soul of the Game, Ali, Waiting to Exhale, ATL, Con Air, and of course, probably his most well-known role as Bubba in Forrest Gump. And for someone who's never won a major acting award, his credits are more than abundant. They're untouchable. He, in my mind, is one of the most underappreciated actors of all time. And of course, I can't make a list like this without incorporating a female, scratch that, a beautiful female veteran of the craft into the fray. Just like McKelty, this woman is one of those actresses that you feel like you've seen in everything. Elise. For every Angela and Viola, there's a her. She may not be mainstream, but she can act her ass off just as well, having co-starred along some of the greatest actors and actresses Black cinema has known. She's certainly held her own in both TV and film, with lead or supporting movies like Set It Off, John Q, Gifted Hands, Four Colored Girls, and The Great Debaters. She represents a mix of class and skill that demands more attention and appreciation than she's gotten. When you speak about the minority of successful yet underrated, underutilized, underpromoted, beautiful Black female actresses, she definitely should be on that list. And with an almost 30-year track record, her value to any script, scene, or cast is beyond measurable. Number 5, I figured making a list like this, I should definitely include a director/producer. Now, if I say Spike Lee, John Singleton, Jordan Peele, when you hear these names, you can instantly think of one of their movies. But if I said Friday, who do you think of? Yeah, Ice Cube. For the better part of 30 plus years, F. Gary Gray has directed and or produced some of the best, most culturally relevant movies to date, from Set It Off to Law Abiding Citizen, Straight Outta Compton to Fate of the Furious, and another one of my favorites, The Italian Job, while also having a hand in some all-time classic music videos of artists such as Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Outkast, and TLC, just to name a few. When researching and putting this together, I knew of Mr. Gray, but even I was surprised at just how much he's done in the decades he's worked, and the multitude of talent he's worked with. You would do yourself a disservice if you didn't take the time to find his movies and watch them, because they're great. He's great. And lastly, the other source of inspiration for this idea, Aldous Hodge. Some of you have only discovered the talents of this man in recent films, such as Invisible Man, Black Adam, One Night in Miami, but he carved out quite a career long before those movies. Surprisingly, I didn't even know he was in one of my favorite movies, Die Hard with a Vengeance. But to me, he'll always be what will probably be his most defining role, a wisecracking, scene-stealing hacker on a TV show called Leverage. Age of the Geek, baby. Defined by his prominent eyes and an effective voice, an electric smile and charismatic charm, not to mention great comedic ability and timing, it seems as if this is only the beginning, even though he's been at it for decades now. Keep an eye out for him going forward, because he's certainly talented enough to include himself in the upper echelon of top actors. And that's it. These are just some of the many entertainers that get lost amongst greatness. There are many others to mull over who have been grossly under-recognized as far as careers and talents go. But that's another video for another time. So stay tuned. For now, thank you for watching. Check out my other videos for more interesting conversations with myself. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the helpers and pad the stats. See ya.